It just feels anywhere you look, you can just stare in one spot for hours. And then once you get over that view, you turn somewhere else and there's another view to look at. And then once you get bored of that view, there's another view to look at. But it's almost like you want to look everywhere at once. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. And today, as you can see already, we are headed to Pranburi Dam. It took about it's going to take 45 minutes to get here. You'll see with the magic of editing. I feel like I shouldn't talk so loud because it's so quiet here. This is my first time here. The ride here was beautiful. I researched on Google before I got here and it said there's lots of twists and turns, and I looked on Google Maps and about 90% of it was just straight roads. But the last 10 minutes I think I'll just keep the last 10 minutes and maybe the first 5 minutes of leaving Hua Hin to show you guys how I got here. And yeah, today, what will we be talking about? And on the way here, I'll be talking about the logistics of getting here, the adjustment it takes to riding a motorbike in Thailand compared to anywhere else in the world, I guess. Driving in Vietnam, Bangkok versus Hua Hin. And there was something else that I wanted to talk about, but I forgot it. So yeah, let's go. In my previous videos, I'd explored the roads and beaches before, and then I was just taking a closer look and sharing it with you guys. Whereas today, we're going to be experiencing the journey and the destination for the first time together. So get comfy and enjoy the views. Today we're leaving the busy, bustling buildings of Hua Hin town for the quiet nature side of Pranburi Dam, a place I'd never heard of before. And I'll be honest, even after researching online, it didn't look all that amazing. I mean, it looked quiet and beautiful, but I think we were really blessed by the weather gods today, because something about the crystal clear blue skies with the growing, shining white clouds in the distance, the vibrant green of all the vegetation, and the mountains getting bigger and bigger as we reach our destination. I felt grateful to be out and about sharing this beautiful ride to Pranburi with you guys. But as you'll see, the views just get more and more beautiful as we go on. So while your eyes are locked in, lend me your ears as I talk a little bit about the logistics of getting there from Hua Hin, the adjustment to riding a motorbike in Hua Hin versus Bangkok or somewhere like Saigon, Vietnam, and most importantly, the feeling of getting out of town and out into nature. So as I already mentioned, it takes about 30 to 45 minutes, around 35 kilometers to get there, depending on what route you take and how fast you drive. The speed limit is between 50 and 60 kilometers for most of the ride, but there are certain parts that drop to 30 kilometers per hour and a few stop streets that seem to pop out of nowhere, so just be mindful of that while you're riding. I left just outside the city center of Hua Hin, and the city mainly runs along the beach and in between the ocean and the mountains. The main roads in the city can feel quite busy and lawless at times, with people overtaking within a few inches of you, both on the left and the right, sometimes at the same time. But you learn to deal with it. So just make sure you have some defensive driving skills and stay mindful, especially in the city or on the bigger main roads. Once you're out of the city though, the road opens up. The buildings get shorter and fewer and further between. The road quietens and you become surrounded by green vegetation as far as the eye can see, with the green mountains behind you, in front of you, and farmlands in between them, with the odd aunt and uncle shop or a small village in between it all. As I already mentioned, I was looking for a long, winding, twisting road through the mountains. But a majority of this drive was just a straight line headed for the hills. But I'm not complaining, because with the weather like this, the sun in my eyes, surrounded by all the green and blue, I honestly couldn't be happier. Towards the end of the ride, you'll see where this trip really comes alive for me. With a few twisting roads in between rubber tree farms, empty lands with massive trees, and eventually you can see the dam wall or a wall of green appear in the distance as we climb up the road to reveal some of the most beautiful scenery with not only zero tourists, but almost completely empty, besides the odd cyclist or a few fishermen that I saw. Pull over to stop and show you guys something that if any of you have been to Southeast Asia before, or watched a video of people in Southeast Asia, I'm sure you've seen this before. But these, a rubber tree farm. And I don't know about you, but before I knew about this, I thought rubber was like artificially made. And you see they cut a groove into the tree, cut the bark out, and it's essentially the blood or whatever you want to call it of the tree that then slowly drips into the bowl. They then can process and turn into rubber. And I actually have oh, truck's coming. So like I was saying, I actually have a pair of 100% rubber sandals and rubber flip-flops that I bought from Koh Chang last year. I'll try and show a video of them, overlay a video of you there. But how cool is that rubber comes from a tree? Before I knew about that, I thought it was some artificially made shit. Anyway, just thought it was something cool I'd show you. Talk about what the difference is between riding in places like this versus Hua Hin, Bangkok or Saigon. Well, these are some of the main places that I've driven a motorbike before, so I have some experience I can share. While Hua Hin is a lot more chilled compared to Bangkok, it's still not calm and relaxing. In Thailand, you have almost a 50-50 split of motorbikes and then cars, trucks and buses. So you have to be super vigilant and mindful at all times in any of the main cities. Bangkok is especially intense because of the sheer number of people, the small roads, and constant construction restricting the already limited road space, which causes even more traffic. And as you'll see, the normal rules of the road don't seem to apply either in Hua Hin, Bangkok, or other parts of Thailand. You'll have people passing on the left and at the right at the same time, trucks pulling out in front of you and overtaking, and while Thailand is known for not using their horns, they also seldom use their turn signals. They will stop out of nowhere, turn right first to turn left, the list goes on. But with that being said, the people are generally way more friendly, calmer, and even apologetic when they've caused a problem or been confronted. At least that's been my experience in Hua Hin and other parts of southern Thailand. Now for Vietnam, and specifically Saigon, it has many of the same issues, except the percentage of motorbikes is way higher, making it slightly easier to avoid an accident. In Vietnam, they will use their horns for absolutely everything. Overtaking on your left, beep beep. You're about to pull in front of me, beep beep. Going through a blind intersection without slowing down, beep beep. Going through a red light, beep beep. You get the picture. With all that being said, once you get out of the city in both countries and get onto quiet roads like this, you're generally a lot safer and don't have to be on edge all the time. You'll still get the odd speeding truck, bus, car or bike, cutting corners or flying past you, but as long as you're staying aware of the road, you'll be able to enjoy the freedom of riding on beautiful roads like this, often being the only one on the road for miles and miles. And to me, this is one of my favorite things to do. The feeling you get from jumping on your bike, getting out on the roads, out of the city, with a destination or no destination in mind, no plan, but just to enjoy the road and take in all the scenery. Being able to explore off the beaten paths, change direction, or stop to admire the views. It really is a feeling you have to experience firsthand to truly appreciate. It's difficult to put it into words how I feel when I get to explore places like this. Coming up to the dam, driving on top of the dam wall, seeing a dirt road to the side, and deciding, let's go have a look. At the risk of sounding cliche, it really does make me feel alive. I get so sick and tired of myself for scrolling on my phone sometimes for hours on end, seeing all the world's problems. But then I come somewhere like this. And all my problems just seem to disappear. This part of Thailand, or maybe Thailand in general, but specifically this part of Thailand, really emphasizes the slow life. And that's kind of, I've said before in the last video, the slogan of Hua Hin is slow life. And while there's enough things to do, I was going to say there's not much to do, but there's enough things to do throughout Thailand, whether it's cafes, bars, activities, you can rent motorcycles and go on adventure tours. But with somewhere like this, you don't come here to do something. I think the point of places like this is you just come to sit and enjoy the view and essentially do nothing. And whereas in other parts of the world, or maybe back home, for myself, you go to places and you feel like you have to do something. Whereas when I come here, you find yourself just wanting to sit and you're okay with it. I don't know if that makes sense or if that sounds weird, but it's either that you're okay with being bored or that you don't feel bored sitting here and just enjoying the views, listening to the sights, listening to the sounds of the birds and the insects. I mean, there's nothing going on here. There's nothing specific to look at. But again, I'll give you a 360 view, and it's almost anywhere you turn your head, it's just a beautiful view, whether it's the dam, the wind blowing on the water with the mountains behind them, the rolling hills in the distance there, the butterflies, the distant hills of Samrayot, even those electricity pylons traveling in between the hills, the farms scattered in between the dam and the hills. Feels anywhere you look, you can just stare in one spot for hours. And then once you get over that view, you turn somewhere else and there's another view to look at. And then once you get bored of that view, there's another view to look at. But it's almost like you want to look everywhere at once. So yeah, thanks for coming along for the journey today. I hope you enjoyed the views and the sounds and the chats. Let me know what else you guys want to see in and around Hua Hin or throughout Thailand. And leave a comment below. What do you feel about places like this where there's nothing to do other than sit? Whether it's the beach, a dam like this, a lake, a river, the mountains. And what's your favorite place to go and chill and just relax and do nothing? Again, thanks for coming. leave a like and subscribe if you want to follow along for the journey. I'm still figuring out this whole filming, editing and storytelling and speaking to a camera out. So if you want to come along for the journey, subscribe, and yeah, peace.